Okay, to reiterate, what's going to be on the test? I was explaining it to you other kids. I was explaining it to these kids, and Matthias was like, you should film this for the other kids, so he cares about you. 8 to 15 multiple choice questions. I'm thinking like a page. There's going to be a couple of POWs in there. Things you haven't thought about, a situation that's new. You're just going to have to think about that and do your best to figure it out. There's going to be a few really easy ones in there too. Like, is acceleration a scalar or a vector? It's a vector, by the way. Scalar is no direction, vector is with direction, right? Like a problem, the difference between distance and displacement, something like that. Then there's going to be, I think, you can't hold me to this, but I think this is what I'm planning. 4 problems, short answer questions. 1 is constant velocity, some situation, not too hard. Something you might find in the textbook or physicsclassroom.com or the practice sheets that I've given you. 2 problems on acceleration. Lego Batman review type problems. Throw something up in the air. How long is it in the air? So throw it off a cliff, something like that. But not 2-dimensional, just 1-dimensional. Just up and down. And then the last one will be a 2-dimensional problem where I give you some original velocity and you're going to have to separate into components. And then you use the vertical component to find the time, right? What's the vertical acceleration? Negative 9.8 always, but that's only vertical, right? So you can't take the whole, if I say you launch a cannonball at 100 meters per second, 30 degrees to the horizontal, you can't use the 100 meters per second with the negative 9.8, right? What do you have to do? Jake's going like this and Sam's going like this, yeah. So you got to find your vertical component. That's your VI as far as negative 9.8 goes, right? I think that's it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Stop this. Yes, Sam?
There's no graphs, right?
Whoa.
No what?
There's definitely going to be some graphing stuff. I'm going to show you how to convert graphs. And there's a little video that I made about it too that I did with the other class. So I might give you a displacement time graph and say, what does the velocity time graph look like? Or I might give you a velocity time graph and say, what does the displacement time graph look like? So if you're thinking, I don't know how to do that, watch the video on the classroom and I'll go over some stuff with you today as well. A couple of questions like that. Not a big, you won't have to like linearize anything or anything like that, but some graphing questions, yes. Any other good questions? Dina? No, you don't have, well, procedure you should, but it doesn't have to be a big story. It can be point form. Like, I set up a ramp, I dropped a cart from this height, then I dropped it from varying heights, and I timed photo gate, that kind of thing. The materials I'm not so worried about.
Okay.
Alexander.
For the drafts for the test, do we have to draw on it, or do we take from the situation?
You could draw graphs of the situation, but I'm not going to ask you to draw graphs, no. Izzy.
Wait, are we going to, oh, you know the one where it's like, oh, this person runs this fast, that
Yeah.
person runs that fast, this person's this far ahead, is there gonna be like something like that?
Yeah, that would be a POW. Yeah, that's a possibility.
What's a power?
A POW is something
Like
that
the pretty much older, like the 1D.
it's not right out of the practice problems. It's a question you should be able to do with the understanding you have, but it's not something I've gone with you and said you got to do this and then this. You're gonna have to figure it out from scratch, kind of.
Like the two
Amanda.
acceleration, the gap between the acceleration.
Maybe.